Hey, fantasy football friends. So, okay, let's talk running backs. Running backs are the darling, right, of fantasy football, especially those ones in PPR leagues that can also catch the ball in addition to running with it. So, running backs is, again, pretty simple. I think we all know the top two picks are David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell. They both catch a lot of balls and run it like crazy. And with David Johnson, I gave him my number one position for one reason only, actually two reasons. Number one, he just scores more touchdowns, and touchdowns are worth a lot of points. So that really is what gives him the edge over Le'Veon. The other thing is I know that the Cardinals are going to just continue to feed him the ball. He is the Cardinals offense. I mean, you know, they've got Larry and everything else, but David Johnson is the Cardinals offense, and they're going to continue to feed him the ball, and hopefully he won't get hurt and have another great season. Le'Veon Bell, easy choice as well. 1, 2, could be 2. You could switch those up and they'd be exactly the same. You can't go wrong there. Number 3 for me, Devonta Freeman. Devonta Freeman is just the past 3 years has had over 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns in each of those seasons. You cannot be angry at those numbers. It's pretty great. And that's even with splitting some of those carries and some of those goal line things with Tevin Coleman. So that says a lot about how the Atlanta Falcons uses him. So I love Devonta Freeman. I've got him as my number 3. Number 4, Jordan Howard. Love Jordan Howard. And really, let's be honest, it's the only bright spot that the Chicago Bears have. So there you go. Jordan Howard. I had Jordan Howard on my team last year. I loved what he did for me. He reminds me of the Le'Veon Bells and the David Johnsons. And if he gets a solid team around him, which the Bears offensive line is not bad. They've made some good upgrades. So they're not bad. And so if he gets a little bit of a more solid team around him, watch out. He will be a number 1 if they start working for him in Chicago instead of against him. And then my last of the top 5. Probably going to be surprised at this one because you're probably thinking I'm going to say Shady, right? But I don't trust the Buffalo Bills offense right now. I love Tyrod Taylor, but there's nothing about that offense that says to me that they are going to be on the field long enough for Shady to do what I need him to do as far as fantasy is concerned. So my number 5 running back this year is DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray is back. He showed last year that he is that guy from Dallas that we all fell in love with. Well, I did. I know a lot of you out there are probably not Cowboys fans, and so you did not. So fell in love with, and that Philadelphia was just a fluke for him. He is solid. He can catch the ball. He's been healthy the past few years. The only thing that may inhibit any of his production is Derrick Henry, but I think that they're giving the ball to DeMarco Murray. He is the featured back, and I think that the only time that Derrick Henry will be in is to give DeMarco a rest. So I think he's a good feature back and deserves to be in the top 5 of our running backs. So once again, I want to hear from you guys what you think. Am I crazy for putting DeMarco Murray in there instead of Shady McCoy? You let me know. And until then, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll talk wide receivers.